Hi, everybody. This is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, the Hut. Welcome back to the Baseball Hut, and hopefully you like this video. What do you think of this hat? Isn't this a nice hat? I got this nice hat the other day here nearby the Hut, and I got this nice hat. Pretty good price for it. And you wonder why am I talking about this hat? There's nothing else to talk about. Got 17 games left, about 16 games left, and the Mets are playing like shit. Oh my goodness. This is how they've played off and on over the last few years. I talked about this a lot. That they need I talked about this a lot last year. That they needed to make some changes in terms of the core. And I think what we're seeing here is the sort of, it's not so much the personality of this team that we're seeing. It's just the nature of the players. The nature of the players and the kind of team they are. That you see the sort of up and down, hot and cold. It's not an effort thing. It's not a heart thing. It's who they are as players. It's who they are in terms of how they produce on the field. And this group has been together pretty much since 2019. That's a long time. That's a long time for a team to be together and not win. Now the Mets are going to still have a 2-game lead, I guess, on the Giants when today's over, because the Giants lost today. But there are some very troubling things here, and they have to take, and now they're starting taking players out. I'm doing this video as the game's going on. This is a team that has been sort of going back and forth. And like I said, they've had a core here since 2019 to get back, of course. Had a bit of a kerfluffle with an account just on X, pretty big account. Doesn't want to engage. He can't make fun of me the way he wants to. But that's okay. We'll talk about that in the baseball too. But so this group has been together since 2019. They got off to a horrible start. The same group we've had here. Nimmo, McNeil, and Pete Alonso. Back then we had Michael Conforto. They had the same problem. I don't count 2020. That was a lost year for everybody. But 2021, they had the same problems. Offensively, pitching fell apart. In 2022, Mets were going good guns until September, and then they just completely fell apart at the end. And they had Lindor on the team. 2023, same thing. Issues in May that basically, or June, excuse me, that basically put the kibosh on the season. They had some injuries, with Verlander. They had some injuries with Scherzer. Now, obviously, the sticky stuff. It's just a lot of drama there between the two of them. But they didn't hit the way they needed to. McNeil's been up and down. Nimmo's had these long stretches where he doesn't hit. Last year, we saw that in May, how terrible that May was. And now you're sort of seeing this now this year. Now, I saw a comment on X highlighting the WFAN show, Boomer and Gio, and Gregory had said on his show that if things don't turn around, there might be major changes to this group of players. How many managers are we going to see get fired because of this lack of production when they need it? Mickey Callaway got fired, but that's for different reasons. He was a mess, between him not getting the lineups right and him texting these women. Remember Mickey Callaway, texting these women. And then in 2021, we had the disaster of a manager in Luis Rojas. Got Buck Showalter fired. And now we have Mendoza, and people want to see Mendoza fired. We can't keep blaming the manager. Sometimes you have to change the core and the group of a team. I was thinking about this heading back to the Hut after work and seeing where this team is at. And I have sort of a historical reference, and that is that the Blue Jays of the late 80s, early 90s. Starting in 87, 88, 87, they were a team that basically collapsed in the last week, and the Tigers passed by them. Having made the big deal for Doyle Alexander, they traded John Smoltz. They were able to beat the Blue Jays, especially the last week. The Blue Jays had a big lead the last week, and the Tigers beat them out the last week. And as those years went on, in 88, they took a step back. 89, they won the division, but they didn't win. 90, they took a step back. 91, at that offseason, 90 into 91, they made a big trade. They brought in Joe Carter and brought in Robbie Allen. They traded Tony Fernandez, and Fred McGriff. And that turned the whole franchise around in terms of winning. 91, they went to postseason. Again, they played. They lost to the Twins. But in 92, they won the World Series. In 93, they won the World Series. So that's kind of how I look at this Mets team. That they need a little bit of a jolt. They need a change here. And we might be in the middle of evaluating. I hope that we start to look at it like that. But the problem is because there's been so much flux here with this team, just with the franchise, all these different general managers, all these different people, they're going to come in. Stearns might not want to do that. I think they should do that if they don't win this thing, if they don't at least get the postseason, especially after last year. But there was a history with this team, a history with this group. Now, I would mention also Edwin Diaz has been here, but Edwin had the bad year, but he has improved over the years, and we've seen how he has good character. He can take a big hit in terms of a ninth inning and come back the next night and pitch well. And he got off the terrible start here, and he's pitched really well. So he has that. Also, Francisco Lindor, who endured a lot of years that were not very good, and he's taken a step forward as a leader of this team, gets big hits. But I would mention he's an older player. So is Brandon Nimmo, so is Jeff McNeil, and Pete's getting up there in age. So we have to take into account where this team is going to be in the next 2 years. So I don't want to throw the season out the window, but these are things that are going to come up if this team doesn't turn this thing around. I hate talking like this. I hate wanting to bring this stuff up, but it's a very frustrating season. I can't remember a season being this frustrating ever. Even more than 2007, the frustration level as a fan watching this to see how good they can be and how bad they can be. I did a video on the Baseball Hut too, talking about the pitching. How the way they've been sort of doing these pitching labs and all this sort of sophistication with the pitching, that they're making average pitchers look good. That was the crux of this Outkick article. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, it's very true. This kid that pitched tonight, I don't think he's got great stuff, but he just pitched really well. There's been a few pitchers I've seen over the last few weeks that I didn't think that they had great stuff, and the Mets just got shut down. Mets just scored 4 runs in this series, and they didn't hit well in Cincinnati. I mean, Hunter Green has great stuff. The kid that pitched on Monday, he's got great stuff too. But I am not. The thing about the Mets is that there's multiple issues here. Obviously, the pitching staff, the ability to be able to go deep into these games is a problem. The ability to throw strikes is a problem, which has been a problem since 2020, since Jeremy Hefner's been the pitching coach. I was not a happy person when Stearns came in here and he did not get rid of Hefner. He should have gotten rid of him. He got rid of pretty much everybody else, for the most part, from Buck's staff. But there comes a point when you can't keep the pitching coach here if you're going through all these managers. I mean, how many managers is he going to live out? I mean, he survived Beltran. He survived Luis Rojas. He survived Buck. And what is he going to stay after if they have to fire Mendoza, which I don't think he deserves to get fired. And sort of the inconsistency here as well as these younger players. I mean, look how poorly Francisco Alvarez has played. He's had some streaks where he's been really good, but then, he had the at-bat on Monday, was just a disaster. I mean, the at-bats on Monday, and I haven't really done too many videos the last 2 days, but the at-bats on Monday set the tone for this series. From Jeff McNeil striking out, against Dorian, and the non-at-bat by Alvarez. I mean, this is just, I don't feel like some of these younger guys are getting better either. And I don't know what the problem is. I don't know what it is. I don't believe it's the hitting coach with them. But it's very frustrating. And like I said at the beginning of this video, the veteran players going through these hot streaks and these cold streaks from one swing to the other swing is troubling because, like I said, I don't see the lack of effort here. I think it's a real, it's who they are as players. There's a lot of talent there. They can get hot at any moment. And they're all fun to watch when they're doing well. But when they are not doing well, it is long droughts, deep valleys. Now we can go over the whole details of this game, but it's the same nonsense. No deep hit, no pitching, and then they're gonna have to rely on these three kids. I would say this about Jonah Tong. He has good stuff, but he's very raw. He's very inexperienced, and I saw it in Cincinnati. With McLean, he's doing good. He's gonna be really good. And Sproat, I've not seen him yet live. So I have to hold that judgment. But McLean is spot on. He pitched really well on Monday. You know, he didn't have his best stuff early. And Tong is very raw. Okay, he needs a lot of experience. You can see the lack of it there. With Sproat and McLean, they pitched and played in big programs in college. You see it. This kid, he's coming from Canada. What kind of experience does he have from high school? I don't know. But you see it. So we'll see what happens. We have 16 games left. I'm always optimistic. You should be optimistic too, but it's getting late pretty quick around here. They're going to be turning the lights out on us again. We'll see that. Get the postseason. Then you have a chance. So thank you for watching. And if you love this video, follow me on Facebook. And of course, send me what they call what the hell they call stars. It's a way to the monetization on Facebook. And of course, send me a super thanks because I'm such a wonderful creator and such a wonderful guy. Please send me a couple bucks, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.